Good morning. Happy Thursday. That's today, right? Yes, today is Thursday. And it is total body strength. So today we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna do 3 rounds of our workout. And we're going to do 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of a rest / transition time. And for equipment, we will need 1 set of dumbbells. I always recommend 2. And I would recommend grabbing a lighter pair than usual because we're going to do a lot of shoulder things all back to back. So fair warning there. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get started real quick with demos. So we're going to start off. We're going to do around the world raises first. So we're going to have our dumbbells outside of our legs. Palms are going to face forward. We're going to bring our arms all the way up and around, not touching at the top, and back down. So we want to make sure that our shoulder blades are pulled down and back. So if we squeeze like we have an orange right in between our shoulder blades, coming up all the way around and back down. So that's going to be the first movement. Second movement here, we're going to do some lateral raises. So palms are going to face behind us, and we're going to drive the elbows up and back down. So this one, the first one's going to work on the shoulder as a whole. This one's going to work more on the side of the shoulder. So we're going to do that next. And then after that last shoulder movement here, we're going to do some upright rows. So this is going to work on more of the front of the shoulders. So we're going to have our dumbbells right in front of us, and we're going to drive our elbows up, keeping those elbows above our hands and back down. So we want to keep that core nice and tight, that back flat, the dumbbells are staying as close to our body as we can. And if we act like we have glass at our shoulders, we want to break that glass with our elbows. So that's going to be our upright row. And then this is where if you'd like a heavier set of dumbbells, you can go ahead and grab that. But we're going to do some goblet squats here. So we're going to have our feet hip width apart, dumbbell underneath our chin, and we're going to let the knees come past the second toe, push the ground away, standing on up. We're going to feel that in our quads and in our glutes. And then our last 2 movements, we're going to do a single leg Romanian deadlift or a kickstand. I likely am going to do the kickstand one, which is the preferred method for today's workout because it helps with stability. So we're going to have all of our weight on one foot. We're going to be up on the other toe. So from this angle, I like to have the foot right underneath the hip. And then we're going to keep those dumbbells nice and close. We're going to push our hips back like we're closing a door. And we're going to drive, pushing our heels through the ground, keeping all of our weight on one foot. So I'm only driving through my left foot right now. So we'll do all 45 seconds on one leg and then to the other leg. So switching sides here as I push to the ground, only driving through the right heel. So that's going to be our whole circuit for today. And so we're going to go ahead and get started with our warm-up. We're going to go ahead and make our way onto the ground into a half kneeling position. I guess I kind of maybe did need my mat. Oh well. So we're going to do a little bit of hip flexor hamstring stretch. We're going to do 2 on each side. So we're going to start with that hip flexor stretch. We're going to bring our butt to our belly button, squeeze the glute of the knee that's on the ground. We're going to gently push our hips forward. Opening up the front of the hip, we're going to take a nice big deep breath. And we're going to exhale, straighten out the front leg, push the hips back, bringing the knee towards the chest. Breathing into that tightness. We're going to do one more breath here. And we're exhaling, coming back forward into our hip flexor stretch. So again, tuck the pelvis, so butt to belly button, squeeze the glute, and push those hips forward. Getting that nice stretch through the front of the hip. We're going to do a nice big deep breath. And we're exhaling, rocking back, straightening out our front leg, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Opening up the back of our leg. Nice big deep breath. And we can go ahead and exhale and come out of that. And then we're going to go ahead and switch sides. So opposite knee and opposite foot on the ground. But we have the same checklist. So we're butt to belly button, so the back is flat, our core is engaged. Squeeze that glute and push the hips forward. That glute squeeze is really important to help us release the front of the hip. We're going to do a nice big deep belly breath, really feeling the hip expand. And exhale, straighten the front leg, push those hips back. toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Nice. Deep breaths here. Breathe into that tightness. We're going to do one more here. And we're exhaling, coming back forward to our hip flexor stretch. So we're going to do that one more time. So squeeze that glute and push the hips forward. Nice big deep belly breaths here. And on our next exhale, we're going to go ahead and rock back. Toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Getting that nice stretch through the calf and the hamstring, so the entire back of the leg. We're going to do one more breath. And we're going to go ahead and exhale and come out of that. And then we're going to go ahead and make our way onto our hands and knees. We're going to do a couple quadruped rotations here, opening up our back and spine. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to take the right hand, we're going to inhale, reach through in between the left arm, left leg. And we're exhaling, opening up towards the ceiling, looking at our hand the whole time. And we're going to inhale, reach through. And exhale, opening up. And one more, reaching through. And exhaling, opening up. And then we can go ahead and take that hand, plant it back up underneath the shoulder. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So taking our left hand, we're going to inhale, reach through. And exhale, opening up. And inhale, reach through. And exhale, opening up. And one more, reaching through. And exhaling, opening up. We can go ahead and plant that hand back up underneath our shoulder. And we are ready to rock and roll. So go ahead and stand on up. We're getting our dumbbells ready. We're starting with our around the world raises. So grabbing those lighter dumbbells that we have. We're getting ready here. 45 seconds of work. 3, 2, 1, and go. So grabbing those dumbbells, palms are forward. We're using our shoulders to pull the weight up and back down. So this is where really important to keep that weight lighter. So that way we're not rocking back and forth. If we have to bring those hips back and forward to get the weight up, got to drop that weight down. So palms are forward, nice, slow and controlled, keeping that core zipped up. Great job. Like I said, this is going to work our shoulders as a whole. Really pull the weight up. Try just to use those shoulders here. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. Next up, we have lateral raises. So palms are going to face behind us. We're driving our elbows up. Pinkies towards the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. So palms behind us. Our hands are not going to go any closer than outside of the legs. Exhale, come up. Drive through the elbows. That's going to help us. When we really focus on the elbow coming up, we should feel that all in the side of the shoulder here. So that's working more on the sides. It helps too if we exhale as we drive the elbows up. Great job. We're pushing through, keeping our core zipped up. And same thing with the around the world raises. If we're starting to kind of swing up, got to drop the weight. 3, 2, 1. All right, last blast of the shoulders, I guess we can call it. Upright rows are next. So our hands are going to be in front of us. 3, 2, 1. So we have that glass across our shoulders. Rake that glass. So the same glass that was there for our lateral raises, same glass here. So keeping those dumbbells as close to the body as we can as we drive the elbows up. So we're going to feel that more in the front area of the shoulders. So we're getting lots of all around shoulder work today. If you know me, you know I love training down. But also it's really important to keep those shoulders nice and strong. That joint is pretty small, So this is going to help us strengthen around the joint so that we can prevent future injuries. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right, next up we have goblet squats. So feel free if you'd like, picking up a heavier weight. We're starting with those feet hip width apart. 3, 2, 1. So letting our hips come back, knees come forward, going as low as we can without breaking form. So if going down this low, if you're starting to feel it in your back as you come up, then we want to stop a little bit sooner than going all the way down. So going within your preferred range of motion. When we push up, we're driving the heel, big toe, little toe through the ground, standing on up. Great job. It helps if we exhale on the way up as we push to the ground. That helps with our explosiveness. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right. Time for our kickstand Romanian deadlifts. So grabbing 2 dumbbells here. We want to keep those dumbbells in the center. 3, 2, 1. So start with whichever foot you'd like, coming up on the other toe. We want to bring our butt to our belly button, keep that core engaged. We're pushing the hips back, push the ground away. When our hips are done moving back, the movement is over. So I like to stop just below the knee. Otherwise, if I go any further, I start to feel that personally in my low back. So that's my stopping point. Yours might be maybe a little different, but really we do not want to go past our hips. So the chest stays parallel with the hips. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Then we're going to be back at the top with our around the world raises. So going to our other foot. 3, 2, 1. We also want to act like we have that orange pinched in between our shoulder blades. Again, still exhaling on the way up as we drive through the ground. Just using one foot. We're not pushing through the heel of the other foot. We really want to feel this in the glutes as we drive through the heel. We don't necessarily want to go until we feel that stretch in the hamstring. So that's when we start to really pull with the low back. This is going to help strengthen all of our back side here. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, that is round 1 done and dusted. So we're going to go ahead, starting at the top. We have around the world raises. So grabbing those other dumbbells we have. 3, 2, 1. So coming up all the way up, over and around, and back down. So we're exhaling on the way up. That's where our exertion is. Keeping that core zipped up. So what I mean by that is we want to act like we're exhaling through a straw. Everything comes down and together, so it's kind of zipping everything up. So if you act like each side of your six pack is being zipped together, that's kind of how we keep that core engaged. Oh, I switched. We're doing this. I got confused. We're good. I'm awake. 3, 2, 1. All right, great job. Now, lateral raises. Don't know why I started doing that halfway through. Palms behind us. Break that glass. 3, 2, 1. Drive those elbows up. And also on this one, important, keeping those hands slightly out in front. When we're all the way back here, oh, that does not feel good on my shoulder. It's gonna activate more of the chest and also kind of put more pressure on the shoulder joint. But when our hands, just like with overhead presses, our hands, we want them slightly out in front. So that way we really get the muscle fibers and the angle that they're at That's going to help us grow the shoulder muscle versus put stress on the joint. Breaking that glass with those elbows. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. Next up, we have our upright rows. So we're going to have our hands in front of us and together, driving our elbows up. Break that glass. 3, 2, 1. So coming up, elbows, breaking that glass, keeping those dumbbells really close to the body. We do again want to feel that more in the front of the shoulder. Exhaling as we drive up to break the glass. Great job. I know this last one of the shoulders can be a little bit tough. We're pushing through, really using the shoulders here, keeping that orange squeeze between those shoulder blades. Finish strong here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Switching over to our lower body here. And then we got one more round. We're getting our dumbbells ready. You can either use both your lighter ones. You can grab a heavier one, whatever you have. 3, 2, 1. So feet hip width apart. We're squatting down. Push the ground away. If you would like to challenge yourself today, feel free. You can always go down a little bit slower. So you can take it nice and slow down and nice and slow up. So if you only have the lighter dumbbells, that is one way to challenge yourself, is by switching up the tempo, which I didn't put that in for today. I know I do a lot of tempos with squats, but my legs are super sore today, so we went with regular squats. But if you want to challenge yourself, please do. 3, 2, 1. All right, getting our other dumbbell when we're ready. We're doing kickstand, Romanian deadlifts. So we're doing one leg, then the other leg, then we got one more round, and then we're gonna cool down. 3, 2, 1. So really important here, when we're going and pushing those hips back, our dumbbells are staying in the center. So yes, we're using one leg, but when we start to bring those dumbbells to one leg, it puts pressure on the opposite side low back. So really keep those dumbbells in the center here. That's going to be really important to not create any imbalances. Push those hips back, push the ground away. We're looking down at the ground. We want to act like we have a tennis ball. Keep that tennis ball under the chin. That's also going to help protect the low back. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other leg. And then we're back at the top for round 3 with the round the world raises. 3, 2, 1. So also it really helps to keep that foot underneath our hip. So keeping it underneath, but you can have it back or out or forward a little bit, whatever feels right for you. Just try and keep that foot underneath the hip. That's going to help us because it's the same pattern and we're making the same shape as a 2-leg Romanian deadlift, but we're just using one. This is going to help us, right, with, evening out our legs and imbalances. And it gives us a chance to really focus on one leg at a time while keeping our stability. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last round coming on up. We have around the world raises. First, palms forward. I'm not going to get confused this time. 3, 2, 1. I swear I'm awake. Same thing as the lateral raises. Hands are staying out in front. So when we come all the way to the side, again, it puts pressure on the shoulder joint, which can also aggravate the neck, our chest, all of that. So hands slightly out in front. You also are probably going to feel like you can do a little bit more weight when our hands are slightly out in front. So again, focusing on that, pulling up with the shoulders, mind to muscle connection. What muscle do we want to feel this in? Our shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, we got 2 more shoulder movements, then we're on to the lower body, and then we're going to cool down. So it's Delt Destruction Thursday. You're welcome. Palms behind us, lateral raises. 3, 2, 1. Drive the elbows up, hands in front. Working on our shoulder muscles. So, like I said, that shoulder joint is just really small. So, really important to strengthen around it. So that way we prevent injuries. And I'm all about injury prevention. Breathing through, core is tight. Keep pushing. I know this is tough. My shoulders are burning. It's all good. We're getting stronger. We're making progress. Great job. Keep pushing. We're almost there. Don't stop yet. 3, 2, 1. All right. My shoulders are dead. We got one more shoulder thing. We got our upright rows. Shake those arms out if you need to. We're getting ready. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last shoulder movement. We're pushing through. I know it's tough, but when the shoulders are tired, we got to push through. This helps build that mental strength. Pushing through. We can do this. If this is the hardest part of our day, guess what? We're going to have a great day. So pushing through, force those changes. We're getting stronger in our shoulders here. Exhaling up. Great job. Keep pushing. We're not stopping yet. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Great job, y'all. Go ahead, set those dumbbells down. Shake those arms out if you need to. We got goblet squats. So our goblet squats are RDLs, and we're done for the day. We're going to get ready here. 3, 2, 1. So dumbbell underneath the chin. Again, if you're like me and your legs are sore, it's always really important to listen to your body. I say this more on Fridays. So if you're in the Friday class, you've probably heard me say this, but really important to listen to your body. So if something does not feel right, do not push through. We need to listen because that's how injuries occur. But it's also important to listen so that way you know when to rest, when to push, when we need to grab more weight, when we maybe need to back off. Or even like this for me today, I'm like, I am going a little slow, but 3, 2, 1. Just really important to listen to your body, y'all. All right. Getting our other dumbbell. Kickstand, Romanian deadlifts. 3, 2, 1. So really driving through the heel. Great job. Breathing. Exhaling on the way up. And this one too, if you need to make it more challenging, you feel free to slow it down as well. You can go down, 3 seconds, come up, really driving through that heel, making sure that as we stand up, I see this all the time. When our hips come forward like this, we put our back under extra tension. We do not want that. We want to come up, have those hips directly below the shoulders, keeping that tension in the glutes. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last movement of the morning, doing the same thing on the other side. And then we're going to be on the ground for our cool down. Getting ready here. 3, 2, 1. Keep those dumbbells central. Driving through our heel. I like to slow down my right side. My right glute is not as active as my left one. And I think that comes from my hip flexor issues. So if you didn't already know, everything in our body is connected. So sometimes we got to really focus during movements on one side versus the other side. And that's why I like to do these single legs so we can really focus on that. We're doing reverse lunges where we again are doing one leg at a time. So that single leg, single arm movement is very important. 3, 2, 1, and we are done for the day. Go ahead, set those dumbbells down and go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. And then we're going to be on the ground for our cool down. We're going to be on our side. So we're going to do a little bit of pretzel because we did a lot of shoulders. We did some, RDLs, maybe our low back's a little bit tight after that. So we're going to go ahead and do some pretzels. So we're on our side. We're taking our top leg up, over, and across, knee and ankle on the ground, bottom hand on top of the knee. With our top hand, we're going to grab onto the bottom foot or ankle. We're going to inhale to prepare. And we're going to exhale, bringing that top shoulder towards the ground. Take my glasses off here for a second. And we are slowing down the breath. So we're inhaling through the nose into the belly. And exhaling, sighing tension away. Really let that body sink into the ground, relax our muscles. Feel the stretch. I know it might not be comfortable, but we're doing great. We're going to go ahead. We're going to do one more breath here. And as we finish that last exhale, you can gently release that bottom leg. And then we're going to go ahead and flip over onto our other side. And we have the same checklist. So top leg coming up, over, and across. Bottom hand on top of the knee. And with the top hand, we're going to grab onto the bottom foot or ankle. We're going to inhale to prepare. And we're going to exhale, bringing that top shoulder towards the ground. Same thing, relax into the stretch with each exhale. A good time to make note what feels tighter on this side than the other side. For me, my low back on the right side gets super tight, and I'm feeling it right now. Breathe into those tight areas. We're slowing the breath down. It's going to help us be able to recover, cool down, get our heart rate down, be able to eat our breakfast, tapping into our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest. We're going to do one more breath here. And after we finish that exhale, we can gently release that bottom leg. And then feel free to stay on the ground, or you can return to a seated, kneeling, or standing position. But that is going to be all the time for today's class. So thank y'all for joining me. Definitely did a lot of shoulder stuff. So take some time today if you can attend the stretch break later on, or even just do a couple stretches for your arms, maybe doing that chest stretch. All of that, just kind of opening all of that up after today. But great job. Thank you for coming, and I will see you all soon.